So, what up? Welcome to the ILEAP vlog series episode 6. As you can see, there's a little bit of a difference. We are not in the room this time. This is the first episode where we're going outside of the room that I recorded. We are actually going to the place that I am going to be interviewing my special guest at. It's going to be his actual domain. If you have been following me, you would know that this episode was going to definitely be about interviewing someone who just started their own business and is flourishing in it right now, man. He's really killing it. So what we're going to do is pretty much head over to this place, set up shop, right? And all we're going to do is sit down, have an interview, and we're going to see how he got his business started from the ground up, yo. And I hope y'all brought a pen and pad, because I definitely brought mine, prepared to learn. I hope y'all really looking forward to it. But nonetheless, I'll see y'all when I get there, all right? Peace. Finally made it to the special guest's home right now. This product that you see in my hand, you may not see it. I'm gonna zoom the camera in, but if you're still not gonna be able to see it, once we get further into this interview, you'll definitely be able to see it firsthand. So, what this actual product is called a cam. I'm not gonna give too much of a brief explanation. I'm gonna let him do the explanation himself. But just to let you know who he is, he's a fellow co-worker of mine. I consider him family. We've been knowing each other for like over a year now?
Yeah,
two years. We've been knowing each other for 2 years, and he has been watching my actual my actual vlog series, and he chose to actually try to jump on the actual vlog series only because he started a business, and his business that has started is flourishing right now. He's actually been interviewed locally within local news media stations. He's also been actually put into the Army Times and the Military Times. He's actually going to have an actual article in the Army Times. So I'm definitely going to actually get a magazine just so I can get that article, just so I can be like, I know this man. So, without further ado, my fellow viewers, ladies, gentlemen, who alike,
yeah.
I'd like to welcome to the actual vlog series, Jacob Neal.
Hey, how's everybody doing? First of all, my name is Jacob Neal. Just give you a little bit of my history. I'm a soldier. I did 21 years, 4 months, and 22 days in the Army, but who's counting? You spoke about the cam. We'll show it a little bit better and show it to you a little bit more, but it's called the COVID Angel of Mercy. It's something that I came up with to salute the medical support staff and medical professionals that are out there fighting COVID-19. The idea came about because of, as I said, I'm a soldier, and we receive combat patches. And anybody who's ever put on a uniform knows what that means. And I felt like that they were fighting a war also, but a different war. They're fighting germ warfare and bacteria and things like that, and obviously the COVID-19 virus. And I created them somewhat of a combat patch. I've created 2 different ones. One is for, like I said, medical professionals, and one is for medical support staff. And I'll wait to get into the details of it. Basically what we're showing, not so much is I'll let him explain.
All right. So what we're basically breaking down and doing in this actual episode, although we want to interview him, we want to pretty much know the schematics, the main frame of how all this got built from the ground up to where it is to right now. I want to let y'all know, just for future reference, this actual episode is going to be pretty long. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask probably like 8 to 10 questions. Due to time, I may just cut it off and make a separate video with the full actual interview on there, and y'all be able to watch it as well. If you may not just have the time to actually sit there and watch the full video, I'm thinking about trying to put it into a podcast format where you could just be driving around and listening to everything and picking up all kinds of information. So just want to let y'all know that right now, so you don't got to worry about, did I miss something or anything like that. I'm gonna make sure that this whole episode comes out fully where you can get it. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna go into the questions. I have a list of questions. Some may be a little bit deeper than others. Some may be a little bit off topic. But needless to say, it's a learning actual thing. I want everyone to learn just like I am, because I want everyone to be successful when they start their own first.
And the reason I'm doing this is not so much to advertise my product or to put it out there. I'm doing it as it is. We'll talk about that. It's because I believe in the each one teach one basis. I learned a lot from doing this project, and I wanted to share those things and make sure Jacobe and the rest of the world, any type of entrepreneurs, would be aware of some of the things. I don't believe that you have to touch the iron to understand that it's hot. I wanted to keep you from touching it and maybe give you a couple of nuggets to help you along the way that I've learned from touching the iron.
Gotcha. All right, so one of the questions was already knocked out. He actually introduced himself, so I'm gonna go to the next question. He may have reiterated it, but I want y'all to actually pick up everything from the questions that I said. So if you missed it, you got it right here. All right. So first question is, what led you or inspired you to start your own business?
Actually, this isn't. It's a business and it isn't. Right now, it's a charity. Also, 50% of my proceeds go directly into a charity. The only reason I cannot be a 501(c) is because there is a profit margin. So be careful about that. But the profit margin that I have rolls right back over into the business, and it allows me to recoup. And we'll talk about all these things that you have to purchase before it goes out of the door. But what made me do the actual product was, I know no one's gonna believe this, but it was a dream. I'm not ashamed to tell people I suffer from PTSD. I've suffered in silence for a long time. And I watched on the news as I saw these nurses and doctors and everyone else basically were crying out, saying that they felt like it was a battlefield. They cried on their way home, they cried on the way to work. And I said, these people are gonna be in trouble. What can we do to show them that we still care about them and we know that what they're going through? And I felt like us being in the military and military minded and people like me, we know that all wounds are not visible. You know what I'm saying? If you have a scar on your face and one arm, we understand that. We see that.
Right.
But PTSD is invisible wounds. So one of the reasons why I created it was, one, to give them homage and give them their own badge of courage. But also, and a lot of people never thought about it, and you actually getting the exclusive on this, I've never told anybody the secret reason why I created those was to kind of identify these people. You know, I want it when people walk around, this patch basically says that you serve in a medical capacity, whether it be a medical professional or medical support staff, and that you were directly impacted by COVID-19 and COVID-19 positive patients. I realized that that's a different struggle than what you signed up for. And I wanted these patches to be an indicator, so when we see that young man or that young lady with that patch on, that we treat them a little differently, that maybe we speak a little softer or be a little nicer or offer them words of encouragement, because they're gonna need it. So that was the other meaning behind the patch that nobody else got, and you got it today.
It's awesome. See, special things comes to this actual series, man. I'm trying to inspire the masses to do their own, but I'm also here to help out the best way I can. All right, so he also hit on another question. He also hit on another question, which what I was going to ask, which was what inspired you to start the business in this criteria. And he already explained about the medical field and all that, so there's no need for me to hit that question again. So what
I do want to reiterate one thing, Jacobe. I've been questioned through my website, direct messages, text messages. People are asking me, well, what about the person that works at the store? What about the person who works in the grocery store? What about the person who works at McDonald's? Trust and believe that I support each and every one of those essential workers. However, the way I see it is, you might have to interact with somebody that has COVID-19. If you work at McDonald's, I use that for an example. No, I'm not plugging McDonald's. I have to make sure I say that.
Got it.
But say you're working at McDonald's, I go through your drive-thru, you don't know if I have COVID-19 or not. Well, these medical professionals and medical support staff personnel, they know because they tested you. You came positive. I think that's the biggest difference, and that's why I chose to honor those, because they know that they're dealing directly with COVID-19 positive patients, and they still come to work.
So they're the ones in the front line.
The frontline fighters. I call them the infantry of the medical field.
Sounds good. That sounds good. I like that word. So, now my next question is, do you have an end goal?
Yeah, I do have an end goal. My end goal is that every medical support staff and every medical professional has at least one CAM. I feel like they deserve it as their badge of courage, and I don't want them to purchase it for themselves. I'm looking for philanthropists. I'm looking for everyday citizens just like me, and just like you, that sponsor them for those medical providers. I'm asking for communities to take care of their own communities. We live in Augusta. We have a huge medical footprint, and we have businesses, and we have people, the Chamber of Commerce, things like that are reaching out to me and are working with me to make sure that every single person that's eligible receive these cans.
Awesome. It's a good angle, man. I really do like that. So, you don't have to disclose this, but I know when I was talking to my fellow viewers, I was telling them I would be as transparent as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, roughly, how much money do you think you invested in yourself to start this?
That's a good question. Investing in self is a scary thing. It's rewarding though, because you don't have to, if you fail or win, you don't owe anybody any money.
Right.
My initial investment, once I created my website, I was able to copyright my image. I was able to trademark the phrases and things like that. Once I got everything, I think my initial investment was around $3,500.
See, I want to hit on something when it comes to the starting businesses. So everyone, when everyone's worried about starting a business, they're always worried about the numbers. They always worried about, it probably costs a lot to start it. $3,500 is a lot, but it's way less than what people be thinking. People be thinking immediately, I gotta go get a business loan. And them loans can be outrageous, especially the actual percentage that you're having to pay.
I'll tell you this, Jacobe, and I hate to interrupt you, but I must say this. If you have a product or you have a business that you want to start and you don't believe that $3,500 of your money is not worth you starting a business, don't start the business. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't believe in your product enough, no one else's is either.
Exactly. So if he hit the nail on the head. Like if you believe that this product is going to do some success for not only just you, but be also making an impact for other people, you shouldn't be really so much worried about the money that you're putting into it, because you know what's going to come out of it. So if you're so much worried about the money, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all, because I promise you, it's going to pay for you tenfold. Always.
It's going to come back.
It's always going to come for you tenfold. So the next question is, how long exactly did it take to get all this into motion?
Well, I started from scratch. I started with a doodle of a picture. I ended up, I actually have the original picture. Here's the original picture. I don't know if y'all can see it. That's what this is, a drawing made on paper. And then I had it digitized, and then I had it embroidered and everything. And so this turned into this. You have to see it in your mind and envision it before you can, because people can't make stuff up in thin air. You have to give them a tangible product. I was new to this. I never did anything like this before. So the process was very eye-opening for me.
All right. So when it comes to, I get where you're coming from when you're talking about where it started, but how long did it take?
How long did it take? Waiting on other people is the scariest thing there is.
Yes.
So between
that right now.
From in my mind to actually having a cam patch was actually about a month and a half. And it was the most gruesome month and a half. To have something in your mind and not be able to see it come to fruition because you gotta wait on other people is one of the scariest things in the world, but it's rewarding once you get it in your hand. I will tell you, the first time I got a cam patch in my hand and looked at it and remembered what I had in my mind, it was almost emotional.
So when it comes to time, so y'all know that I'm working on the business, and based from, if you've been watching me from day one, y'all know it's taken way longer than a month. My actual launch date, launch area time frame was supposed to be actually this month, but due to COVID, it kind of pushed it back. But it's still going to come out. But here's one thing I always want to tell people: don't ever rush the process. Just go with the flow of it. You know, at the end of it all, your finished product is going to be rewarding. So no need to rush it and try to put yourself in a tight bind, because when you do that, you're going to do yourself more harm than you are good.
Absolutely.
So So don't ever rush the process. You see, he said a month, but you see, I'm sitting over probably like 6 months. But I'm getting close. I'm definitely getting close. But this COVID stuff, no one was expecting that to happen. And it kind of pushed a setback on me. But I'm not going to stress it. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to make sure everything is right. Just so I won't hinder myself from
That's important.
from whatever it is that I want to actually do with my products.
I had to fast track my product just due to the nature of it. It's almost like there was a specific market in a specific window. So I knew that this product would, in order for me to get the branding of it, I had to do it while it was still on top of the news cycles and in the news medias. So I did have to do some things and pay some extra monies to get things pushed and forwarded and done fast. If I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have done it that way.
Right.
But that was one of the things that I had to do. But the situation drove me to have done it that way.
Right. You pretty much, your product pretty much was hitting on the main thing that was going on in the world at the time.
I used the Steve Jobs concept. You ever heard of that?
No, what is that?
Steve Jobs. I know everybody know who he is. He created the iPhone. He gave you something that you didn't know you wanted, and then he made you not just want it, he made you need it. So no one in the medical field or medical support staff even knew what a can was because it didn't exist. They never heard of a COVID Angel Mercy patch. So the first thing I had to do was tell them what it was and make it crystal clear. Mm-hmm. And then I had to make them want it. Mm-hmm. And now I have people, I've ran out of stock twice already. And now I have to make them, now they need it. Mm-hmm. So that is the concept that I use. And not to mention that 50% of the proceeds rolls into a scholarship fund that benefit them. So now they see this as if I buy one, I've literally invested in myself.
I was just going to say it's an investment.
They invested in themselves.
All right. So we hit over the steps, we hit over the time frame. So my next question is, can you give me and the audience a brief summary of what exactly it took to get this engine running, like emotionally, physically, mentally?
I work full time. I'm a government civilian, a DAC, a Department of Army civilian. So I work 8 hours taking care of that. I couldn't be distracted from that because that's my number one duty and that's my job. So everything that had to do with this project happened after 5 o'clock and it ran into the wee hours of the night. A lot of emotional stress. I tell you, my military training helped me out, hurry up and wait. A lot of things I had to hurry up and do, but then I had to wait for, as in business license and copyrights, tax exemptions, things like that. You gotta hurry up and do it because you can't launch your product until you do it. But then you gotta wait for the state to come back and you gotta wait for this entity to come back. So I learned a lot of exercise and patience. It was emotional at some points, but I feel like every bit of it paid off.
Okay. As you can see, I'm writing notes. I hope y'all are doing the same thing, especially if you're trying to start something. This is prime time because you're getting something really special right now. So I hope y'all actually taking this actual opportunity to learn from this, take notes, and then take everything you learn from this and put it in your business and get your business running. All right.
So while you're writing, Jacobe, I want to share something that I heard my whole life and I didn't know. I heard it, I understood it, I thought I had an understanding of it. Ownership is the best thing in the world. I don't care if you own this pen. If you own it, it's yours and you can do, I own this patch, I own the copyrights to it, I own no one can do anything with it, to it, misrepresent it because it's mine. If you're gonna push a product out before you do anything, I don't care what big a hurry you're in, how much you think it's gonna make, how big of an impact, until you secure your ownership in it, i.e. patents, trademarks, I strongly advise you to hold it to yourself.
You told me that when I was telling you I was showing off my demos at the time. You told me that.
I told you it's all fun and games until somebody else is showing your shirt. And you can't do anything because you never protected it.
Right. So I definitely haven't did that no more. I'm learning.
Each one teach one, brother.
So, next question is, what's some tips and future recommendations / advice on what they should do, or me, before, during, after they choose themselves to get started with their own business?
it comes down to, first of all, you gotta believe in your product. If you have to be honest with yourself. So what I did was, because I'm so passionate about my product, I actually did a focus group of people that I know were not my friends. I contacted people. It was a bit odd at first. I contacted them through Messenger and said, hey, I have a product or an idea I'd like to pass through you. And you get the most objective and subjective comments from people who are not your friend, who don't share your emotion. They will tell you right away what they actually feel, and you can't be hurt when they tell you. So you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to accept that honest feedback. So the first thing I would tell you to do is form a focus group. Share your product with people who are in close circles with you. And I will just be honest with you. I had them sign a non-disclosure because I knew my product wasn't finished and it was not copyrighted yet. People are gonna think that's offensive, but it's not offensive when they have your idea and tell it to a friend, until that friend tells a friend, and the next thing you know, your product is out there somewhere else. And they just intellectually stole your product, but it's your own fault because you didn't protect it. During work. I worked some wee hours of the night. I probably redid this patch about 20 times. Until I felt like it was a product that I felt like represented the community and my charity and my product at the same time, my project. And then the last thing is keep marketing. Marketing is everything. You have to know who your audience is. You have to know. If you miss the mark, and you will know when you miss the mark. The biggest thing I learned about marketing, I don't want to go off schedule, but I feel like I have to tell you this. Soft marketing and hard marketing. You have to know when to do the two. Soft marketing is when I just drop a link to my website. I don't ask anybody to buy anything. I'll post it on there. If your product is good, they will come back to you and say, where can I get one?
And that's soft marketing.
Soft marketing. You didn't ask anybody for anything, but think about this. Jacobe, if you know somebody's trying to sell you something, are you gonna listen? Not in today's times, because money is tight.
Definitely.
But if they show you, Steve Jobs, something that you didn't even know you wanted, and now you want it, and now you're gonna ask, how do I get it?
Right.
That's soft marketing. I found that hard marketing wasn't a good look. Posting to people's websites, posting to people's Facebook, and saying, hey, buy this, even though it's a good product, it feels forced, and whenever you push somebody, they're gonna pull away. So for my product, especially when it's attached to a charity that means so much to me in the community,
right,
I felt like soft marketing was the best technique for me.
Okay. So anything you can say for the after?
The after is still yet to be written. Ride the wave. If you see a specific demographic or specific group or specific target audience that wants and needs your product, make sure you keep in contact. You have to understand them. I've been invited into nurses groups, Nurses Rock. I went into their, I didn't infiltrate them. I came in and they told them who I was. And they said, well, sure, we'll let you in. And I did soft marketing. Because who else other than nurses, doctors, LPNs, RNs can say and validate something like this but them? I can tell you a million times how great it is and how it's given to a scholarship. But when you have someone who's actually on the front lines working for in the defense and eradication of COVID-19 tell you, this is awesome and I gotta have it, what does that say to the rest of their group?
Got you. Those are good keys. Good quality keys right there. Love it.
At that point, Jacobe, you don't even have to market.
Right.
It markets itself.
Right.
That's another thing, the way you know you have a good product. It will literally, how many iPhone advertisements do you see? Except for when they have a new one. They'll tell you, I got a new one. The iPhone 10 or the iPhone this, the iPhone 20 this. That's the only time you ever hear about it because they're telling you that it's there. After that, Apple takes a seat because they said, I don't need to tell anybody anything else. Because the person who bought it is going to tell this person.
Right.
They're going to tell this person.
Right.
And they back away.
Pretty much how it's going with your stuff.
Yes, because I'm learning from these big corporations how they do business.
That's awesome. So, the first 10 questions that were like pretty much straightforward. These next,
Am I gonna need a water break?
5 are pretty much discussion based. So maybe he may need some water, maybe I need some water, but this is going to be like discussion based questions. I don't expect these to be like pretty much straightforward answers.
Okay.
So just be prepared to just listen through all this, all right? So the first question is, what have you learned throughout your journey of starting this business?
I've learned that the best approach to take for a business is never try to compete, but to collaborate. I found that a lot of people think that I have to compete against people and I have to compete against this interest. What I've learned is I don't have to, it benefits me and other businesses, and all the businesses that are successful don't compete. Competing is hard work. Collaborate with that entity. Make sure that they're a viable entity and that they have a product that also is good, and you join forces with it. And both people flourish. So I've learned that.
That's something I'm trying to definitely do with mine. I don't want to tell too much to y'all just yet. I'm waiting closer to launch to tell y'all. But I know you and me talked off topic, offline about it. I'm definitely trying to do something like that. It's just right now I'm so focused on getting it there first.
I understand. That's the best way to do it.
That I don't want to just be like, hey, we need to collaborate now. I'd rather wait until everything is at least having a system started.
You have to get branded first.
Yeah, get branded first. Pretty much, that's it. So
a month ago, no one actually knew what a can was. Now, I think I have 5 states that I haven't hit. One of them is Hawaii, Massachusetts, some of the tip-top northerner states that I haven't sold at least one can to, and I expect that'll change.
I believe it will. I definitely believe it will. Just what, 1 month in, and you
next Friday will be 1 month.
Next Friday, and you are already doing numbers, so I can only imagine.
Because the product is selling itself. This has nothing to do with me. You gotta understand the spirit of the product, what it stands for, and who it stands for.
Right.
Once again, target audience.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
Alright. So, next question is, what was some of the most difficult tasks you had to tackle to get to where you are now?
Shipping.
Shipping?
Yes.
Oh, I think this one's gonna be a juicy one.
Because it was so many different options. You got stamps.com, you got Shippo, I spent days scouring the internet trying to figure out the best way to ship and package that's cost effective for not just you, but your customers. And you won't believe who I ended up circling around to.
So who did you end up with?
United States Postal Service.
United?
Right there. I found out that the United States Postal Service, I can use weight-based. If you look at the FedExes, the UPSs, they use dimension. So even if it was, I'll use this right here, is 6x4. They're gonna look at this dimension. They don't care that it only weighs, 1 can weighs 0.3 ounces. And this whole package weighs less than this. They don't care. They're gonna charge me based off the dimension of this can. United States Postal Service does weight. So now I'm paying a fraction of the cost, which means that I don't have to charge anybody who wants to buy or sponsor these patches. I don't have to charge them any additional fees. I've learned to use what you got. And United States Postal Service now runs 7 days a week because of Amazon.
Right. Others.
Not saying that this will work for you, because it depends on the sizes of your items and things like that. But I will tell you, if you're gonna do some research and you're gonna spend a whole lot of time on research, other than demographic and target, shipping.
That was your most difficult task.
For me, was to get it to the consumer or to the audience in the most expeditious, cost-effective way.
So what I want to hit on task. His was shipping. Not like he was saying, not everyone's gonna have a problem with shipping. I will say shipping is one of the most key things that can make or break your business, but it's not just gonna be the only thing that's gonna be the most difficult part. Depending on the product that you are trying to sell or the business that you are trying to do with it, it could be a consulting. You're not worried about shipping, you're worried about getting clients in. It's all based about what your product and what your business is based around and how
If you have a tangible product, then you're gonna want shipping is one of the biggest things you're gonna want to focus on.
Got it. So shipping. Alright. So what my business is on, so shipping is gonna be a key thing for me, but
And I told you some suggestions.
so I'm definitely taking them notes well ahead of time. So next one, any grievances, any real grievances throughout this process? We know the shipping was like the most difficult task. Like anything you regret throughout the process that you've done.
I can't say I regret it. I can tell you that what I realize is that everybody's not gonna share your vision. And even I don't care if you had to cure the cancer, someone's gonna have an issue with the way you cured it. What I realize that even if you have a product that's aimed at helping people, aimed at making people feel better, aimed at creating a scholarship, there are always gonna be naysayers. You can't go forward if you believe that everyone is gonna like your product, because there's some people that are just not gonna like it. Right. And I will tell you what was told to me. I'll give this to you guys, this nugget, and I'll give it to you. When you're on a journey, sometimes you have to go by yourself. That's the first thing. But also, and I want you to remember this, Jacobe, when you go on your journey, there's going to be a lot of dogs barking on your way. You can't stop to throw a stick at every dog, or you'll never get where you're going. You have to ignore that dog. You have to ignore that distraction and go to where you're trying to get to, because simply they're there to distract you. They're there to throw rocks at you and to bark and act like they're going to do something. But if you really, I'm translating this to customers. So the naysayers and the people who are going to down your product are the same ones that's not going to purchase it and support it in the first place. So why give them your energy? I've had negative comments wrote on my website, negative comments sent to me. I won't entertain them, because that's the same person that is not going to help me.
Right.
So why give them any energy? So I would suggest that everybody don't stop to throw those sticks at that dog, because they're going to just slow you down.
Okay. So to hit on that same question, is there a mistake you made that you want to tell them along this process? Like, was there a hiccup that?
Yes. I put the cart before the horse.
What?
Okay, so never put the cart before the horse. Everybody knows you got the horse and then you got the cart. If you put the cart before the horse and you say giddy up, you're going to run right into that cart. I thought I was ready to get what I asked for sooner than I really was ready. So when I launched, I thought I was prepared and ready. I knew I had a good product. I did not expect, I should have. I did not expect the business and the people to react to it as fast as they did. And I had built myself some days in to say, well, I got a week before this happens. Or I got 2 weeks before this happens. And I'll give it a prime example. They're right here. I bought 1,000 of these bags. They come in sets of 110. That's what I put these inside of to protect them. Also put them in a poly mailer as a second layer. I bought 1,000 of them. They were going in 3 days. I had to wait almost 4 or 5 days.
Lord have mercy.
Watching orders stack up, watching people send me emails and texts saying, why didn't I get a message saying it was shipped? Because I failed to backfill these polymers, backfill these plastic bags. So that was what I did. I made a mistake and I paid for it.
That's it. So let me just hit on something. So when starting your business, of course, things are going to be scary, and you're going to have mistakes, and you're going to have times where you're like, man, I just messed up. I don't know how I'm going to bounce back. But the best advice I feel like I can give you, and I haven't even started yet, is keep on going, keep on pushing forward, and learn from that mistake, and don't ever do it again. And figure out a system or relief.
You just said something. I think businesses, I'm going to put it to where people can maybe who don't have a business can understand. Do it like a relationship. If you make a mistake in a relationship, they're more forgiving if you don't make that mistake again. So I can't make this mistake again. My customers, my base will not accept that as a legitimate excuse ever again.
Right.
Because I know better now.
Right.
So I won't accept it as a legitimate excuse. So this can't happen again. As you can see, I showed you my supplies.
We're going to show y'all all this time.
I mean, I'm ready to go. If someone orders 500 cams, I could have them done tomorrow morning. Just like that. I will never get put in that position ever again.
Gotcha. That's one thing I know a lot of people are scared to hear, and just scared to face is mistakes. But you're gonna have them.
Okay.
You're gonna have them. Point blank. Period. Mistakes are inevitable. You're gonna always get them. So just be prepared. And once you get once you face that mistake, fix it. Make sure it never happens again.
Put a countermeasure in to make sure it never happens again.
So, is there anything that you plan to do with the cam business in the near future?
So I appreciate you calling it a business, but it's a business / it's a charity. I keep wanting to reiterate that 50% of proceeds go to charity.
And that's my apologies.
No, you're right in a sense, because it to a charity that doctors, nurses, medical professionals, and also the support staff, if they contract COVID-19 in the line of duty and unfortunately perish because of COVID-19, while in the line of duty, their children and their surviving spouses will be eligible for this scholarship that 50% of this proceeds go into.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
So what was the question again? I kind of got off track because I wanted to make sure everybody.
So I'm gonna leave that word out because I just wanna not just single it out as a business.
Okay.
Is there anything else you plan to do with CAM in the near future?
Yes. I've had some really good suggestions. I love having an open venue with the people who are out there. I created a message board where they can send me messages, and you'll be amazed at the feedback. Some of the stuff you'll get, like I said, the negative comments, the naysayers, and who do you think you are? But a lot of times I've been asked to do t-shirts. I've been asked to do other things. But remember that you have to make your brand first before you can venture off into anything else. So the short answer, yes, I plan on doing a lot more things. I've even had people say, well, I would love to have this on a tumbler, or I would love to have this on a pin that I could stick on my civilian clothes when I'm not in my scrubs. I would love to have all those things for them too, but first you have to brand.
Right.
Once you brand, then you can go into different things.
Okay. So last question, and then what we're gonna do right after that, we're gonna go through his system of how he has all this running. And then after that, we're gonna close it out. I gotta give y'all the book of the day, and remember, I was telling y'all that I was gonna do a giveaway. And I'm gonna tell you what the giveaway is right after all that is done. So, the last question is, can you explain the emotions that were running through your head before, during, and after the process? And then, did you have any type of insecurities?
You're gonna always question yourself. Believe it or not, and I'm not trying to plug Steve Harvey, but I listened to a Steve Harvey show, and he talked about how he slept in his car, and he had that one thing, that one time that reached out. I got to a point when I started getting frustrated, and I started to question myself. But then I remembered what I was doing it for,
Right.
Because it wasn't about financial gain. It was the spirit of what I believed in, and if I believed in it, I believed other people would believe in it. So I pushed on and I moved forward. When I had that aha moment was when I went live and I heard the chime of my email going off, and I looked and it was the first person buying the first cam. And I said, that's a moment for me. You know, I stared at the computer and I said, okay, so one person bought it, and that's pretty cool, you know, to see it go from your mind to something tangible. And then literally that day I released it, I did a couple of soft marketing and dropped them in a couple of nurses' rooms and stuff like that. And I launched my site at 9 o'clock at night because I said I want to go to sleep and I don't want to see what happens. I woke up the next morning and I had 100 and some orders. And I had no idea. I was overwhelmed. I was like, is this for real? And it's been pretty consistent. It spikes, like if there's a news cycle, like when I do an interview, or if I do, I was on the local news here in Augusta, and I was also in my hometown of Warner Robins, Georgia. When people know about it, it'll spike, and you'll notice the influx in product. But that's the two things that I can share with everybody. I think it's gonna happen. The end state is believe in your product.
Gotcha. So, there was all my questions I have. So, I hope y'all took something away from this. We're not just finished yet. Like I said, we're about to see how the system runs. And then after that, we're going to close this thing out and then we'll continue on with our day. All right, so would you mind showing me how this system runs?
It's simple now.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camera around just so you can walk it through. All right, now y'all about to see the well-oiled machine and how it runs, all right?
And he's calling a well-oiled machine, I call it organized confusion. So here we go. I just want to show you how when you run your own business, you got to do everything yourself because you don't have a team. I am the team. You remember, sometimes you're going to be your product. So I'm just going to show you the product in state, how it comes. So we have a 4x4 bags. I realized that my product is 3.5, so I ordered the 4x4. So from beginning to end, I take a empty 4x4 bag. All these are done by hand, and you take them, and I put something called a cam promise. It's also a marketing tool. You know, some people are going to receive these from someone, and they're not going to know exactly what they are, but it tells them what it is and what website to go to. It's a reverse marketing tool, is what it is. Costs cents to make. Each sheet probably costs about 15 cents a piece, and then I have 20 on each sheet, so it pays for itself. Then you take the cam, it's more hand labor. You got to put them inside each bag. Now you might say you can throw them in there, but I always want my stuff to look professional. I hold it and I put it straight up and down. So it looks like this by the time they get it. But wait, there's more. Let's say somebody orders one. If they order between 1 and 3, I use this size poly mailer. If they order between 3 and 20, I use this size poly mailer, and I have different sizes all the way up to 50. Once they buy 50 or more, then I use United States Postal Service flat rate boxes. So these are the flat rate boxes, and I use these. So I'm just gonna give you an example of how one patch is done. I take it, I close it because you don't want your product to get there wet. I put it inside of a poly mailer bag. I push it all the way down. I pull the zip on it. I put it flat, and the next thing is, because I use the United States Postal Service, I think you remember me speaking on it before. If you use any service like UPS or FedEx, not to discourage you from using it, it's going to depend on your product, but they go by dimensions. Because my product is lightweight, it's in my best interest to use the scale. So I put it on the scale. I already know how much they weigh. They weigh 0.03 ounces, but with the poly mailer, it weighs 0.04 ounces. Once I do that, because I have a program with and a contract with Stamps.com, it spits out a printing label. To save money, excuse me, I even went further on the printing labels. So I use the labels that are a full sheet of printing labels. It's a full sheet. However, you gotta be smart. Does it look like I need a full sheet to put on each one of these? Absolutely not. So what I do is I use a full sheet, but I print 4 to 6 labels on each sheet. Yes, that's an additional work, but it cuts the cost. So I use my cutter and I cut out the labels. Once I cut out the labels, I affix them to the fronts of the cam packages and they're ready to go.
Awesome.
And just like that, they go off to it, and I know people are getting them, and I know they're getting them in good shape because, once again, reverse marketing technique. I told you I put on here the cam promise, asking them to promise to go to the site and also to send me a picture of them wearing it or displaying it and showing that they received their cam. What does that do? A lot of y'all might say that's a waste of time. You're putting a sticker on each one of them. Once again, it's reverse marketing. I get to see what my product is now. They just told me their demographic. They just told me who they are. They just told me where they live. And they also showed me that my shipping process works. So it's a win-win situation, and I did it all for cents on the dollar. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope this helps you. If you have any additional questions, you can go to my website and send me a message. But I ask you to go and support these medical heroes. Go to COVIDangelofmercy.com. It's one word. It'll show you the site. I like to direct people. If you go to the ellipsis, I found out that's a big word. It's the 3 horizontal lines that you click on when you're on your phone. Yeah, somebody called it the ellipsis. Trust me, I didn't notice a month ago. You click on it and go to the R story link. I also put a hot link on the front of the website where you can go to it. I ask you to go to the R story link and learn exactly what the reason for the cam, who's the target, and learn about the scholarship, learning what it can do. And it's really made an impact on the medical community. I think it's made an impact on the community. One of the things that I love about this product, and it'll speak on what's going on in the world, is this product is bipartisan. It doesn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. It doesn't care what race you are. It doesn't care what creed you are. It doesn't care what religion you are. I tell everybody I'm a registered American. This virus doesn't care. COVID-19 doesn't care, and neither does the patch. You know, this was designed, and I'll tell you another secret of the patch is that I created this to take away all the different things people could say, like, why doesn't it look like me? If you're African American, you're gonna say, well, her hair doesn't look like mine. If you're Hispanic, oh, that don't look like mine. If you're this way, oh, the eyes don't look. So I took away the subjectiveness of it by putting on PPE, which helped me because the nurses wear PPE. So I took away the subjectiveness of it being a specific race or gender or anything like that. And y'all might say, well, angels that looks like a female. If you look at one of the most famous angels, is Saint Michael. Unfortunately, the way they did it in history, you can look it up yourself, he looks very feminine because that's what angels look like. They look soft, and it's meant to be that way, but that doesn't make them male or female. So I had to make it to where a male felt comfortable wearing this also. Hope that makes sense. I love y'all. I hope that these cam patches do well, but I also hope that, and I believe it, there's no hope. I know for a fact that our medical professionals, our war fighters, frontline fighters of this COVID-19, they will come up with a cure to put it in check or eradicate completely off of this planet COVID-19. I have trust in them. As I usually say, they're like boxers. They came out swinging, and I think they performed. And I think they look good. They look like champions, and I'm just happy to be a part of it and be able to give them the old salute. I see you enjoying that necklace, man.
Hey, I've been holding on to it the whole time. Alright, so with that being said, that's pretty much the end of this video. We are at the closing stages of it. But before we close, you already know what I gotta give y'all, which is the book of the day. So, the book of the day is a nice orange book, can't miss it, but it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Ronson. I can tell you right now, this book will definitely help you with your business. I ain't gonna lie, the book is a little bit pessimistic, but when you're in a mindset of trying to start your business, this is gonna be a good mindset to be in, because you can't be worried about what's going on in the world. You can't be worried about what people gotta say about you and all that. This book will just tell you,
That's ironic. We spoke on that. We said you can't stop to throw a stick at every dog that barks at you.
This book gonna tell you pretty much what to do. It's gonna alter your mind state of how to think about things, because you can't always be too much worried about what's going on with someone else. Oh, something bad happened to you, and you start freaking trying to blame the world. You just gotta keep on going and do what you gotta do and get the job done. So that's the book of the day, and you know I was talking about a giveaway. So here's what the giveaway is. So I have supported Cam. I bought 5 cams. I got 2 that I'm gonna give to 2 nurses that I know, and there's gonna be 3 that I will be giving away as well. Well, there's gonna be 3 that I'm giving away to y'all. The only way y'all are gonna be able to get them is by liking this video, sharing this video, and explaining in your post to why you want the cam and what does it mean to you. As well as that, it's not just it. The other thing that I'm gonna give away, so with this book, I bought a hard copy, but I initially bought the first copy of this book on audiobooks, specifically Audible. I'm able to share a free copy of that audiobook just to anyone. So if you want that book as well, just do the same thing.
Y'all better beat me to it.
You just do the same thing, but instead of you saying why you want the cam, say why you want this book. And that's all you gotta do. I'm gonna give it like a week maybe. I'll give it a week. And I'm just gonna pick 4 people specifically. 3 of y'all gonna get the cams, and 1 of y'all gonna get the free audiobook. So with that being said, that's pretty much the end of this episode. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. I really hope y'all learned from it.
Talking to you.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
I'm glad you did. I hope y'all enjoyed my special guest. and I appreciate him for actually showing up onto the vlog series. I also got a gift for him, and I'm gonna show y'all that, but I'm gonna have to do a cut for it. But anyways, matter of fact, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna just do the cut right here. So for a token of appreciation for him showing up for this actual vlog series episode, he will be getting his own actual bottle of Crown Peach unopened. And I know there's a lot of people who've been looking for it, but I definitely have it.
You already know how I feel about this. Like I said, we're co-workers. We work together. Hey, Jacobe, I appreciate it, man. But at the end of the day, each one teach one, man. I'm always trying to empower somebody. And like I said, I don't feel like that I want you to bump your head like I did. Bump it differently, you know what I'm saying? And when you make a mistake, help each other. Like I said, competition is the most garbage way to run a business. Collaboration, me and him have some collaborations that we're gonna do in the future. I can't wait. But I'll obviously leave the last word with the man.
Alright, so as you know, I just had to show my gratitude for him showing up to the show. Once again, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Remember to get better every day. And I'll see y'all on the next episode.